Hey everybody, Madeline here. To compare the chart of today with the chart of World War One and World War Two. And the other message that's important that's coming through is we have a Neptune squaring Jupiter, and Neptune is conjoining Saturn. So there's absolutely no way we know the full story of what's happening right now in politics and government. So there is definitely a big deception going on. And my hunch is that we're being manipulated to not be focused on our success because the astrology for success and abundance and really great stuff is there. So my hunch is that the more distracted and pulled off our game, then that's kind of maybe what's happening. We're we're really on a good track, a fast track to abundance and success if we stay on it and we stay focused and we don't get distracted and we don't get our vibes dropped by fear. So I'm going to go ahead. Let me set up this uh, um, the two charts here of World War One and World War Two, and this is going to be an interesting study. Um, and then I'm going to show, of course, chart now. So what's interesting, so I'm going to share the chart here. What's interesting is that in World War One, we really did have Pluto is at 1 degrees Cancer. And in World War Two, sorry if I'm hiccuping, World War Two, Pluto is at 0 degree, 2 degrees, 1 degrees, 2 degrees. Pluto's at the small degrees, low degrees each time, right? And then we go to now, Pluto. Where are you, Pluto? Pluto, Pluto. Pluto is at the low degree. So there's one thing all in common, which could indicate that we're at that same type of astrology, okay? So now I'm going to go back to World War One, and we had Saturn 4 degrees away from Pluto. So we have basically a Pluto-Saturn relationship. What else is going on? Again, repeating the message that Pluto is at that low degree point, which indicates a big shift in the society. We have Jupiter at 19 degrees Aquarius, trining the moon. This is logged in at when I could look up and see the initial beginning of World War One was. So everything else is sort of not that indicative of a war or a big war other than Pluto, Saturn. I was thinking about the Neptune being in the same sign too as Pluto. So let's take a look now. Now we're going to go to World War II. And we're going to just see something else that's very interesting. We have Saturn at the low degree point where it is right now in the sky. So that could be another correlation, but it was conjoining the south node. Whenever you have a planet conjoining a node, it's a big extra boom, extra power, squaring Pluto. So you've got a bully in Saturn, a bully government squaring Leo, I guess kings or other monarchies or other, shall we say, leaders. And again, Pluto is at that young degree point, but we have a Pluto-Saturn relationship, right? So that's World War One. Now, anything else going on in the sky that would really be a big, well, we've got this big square to the north node in Scorpio. So we're going through a big social transformation around tyrannical bully type energies and leaderships. So that was World War II. Nothing else really big going on that would indicate we have a really beautiful trine from Mars. This I could get a time on exact. This was the time exact. So I was able to get a time. So then I can really pull the moon in on that. And there was a trine there to the Uranian, which would indicate that this would in the end be a good thing for the people. there would be victory for the liberation of humanity on some level. So you could say that because World War II changed society pretty in a very big way, created a lot of like global unity. I don't remember my history as much, but I used to know all of this history. But World War II definitely shifted the structure of Europe, and so did World War One. So we're looking at big shifts and changes in the structures of our world when we have these big shifts, big occurrences, and they're happening when Pluto has a Saturn. This is when it's a big war, when we have Pluto Saturn. World War One, Pluto Saturn, World War Two, Pluto Saturn, right? And now we're going to go to now. And guess what? Look at Pluto and Saturn. Pluto, Saturn. So, but it's a sextile. They're both like in World War II. They're young degrees, low degrees, but they make a positive angle. And then we've got Neptune, Saturn together, which would indicate the whole point of astrology is that we know the truth. Neptune, Saturn is we're not seeing the truth. You're not seeing the whole picture. There is deception and other stuff. I think I'm going to be out there and I'm going to think there's a war going on in another reality that we're not aware of. Like, in other words, there's a secret war going on between powers in the governments or in the ethers, because this Neptune Saturn would indicate we don't know something. Squaring Jupiter. So something happening in the world right now that is causing changes in a big way that Jupiter is preventing us from going forward until these big changes are made. And we can't see them. And we're not supposed to get distracted from our Saturn Jupiter missions, our paths that we initiated in December 2020, when we were initiating our true liberated journeys on this towards our part in materializing the age of Aquarius, which is that we are liberated people. All right, I hope that was helpful and have a wonderful day. Namaste.